So normally I try to be a little bit more positive in my videos or whatever cartoon I'm talking about, but today's going to be a little bit of a rant, so just bear with me. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite cartoons, or what was one of my favorite cartoons, Fairly Odd Parents. Let's get into it. So, Fairly Odd Parents, created by Butch Hartman, the guy who created Tough Puppy. I don't know if any of y'all remember that show. Danny Phantom, which was an amazing show, and a couple other shows, I think. Yeah, he had Fairly Odd Parents, and it was a hit at first. You know, the show is basically about Timmy Turner, who got two Fairly Odd Parents because he was basically a loser. And basically his life turned around, and now he's no longer an average kid. Basically, you just listen to the theme song if you want to know all about it. The theme song basically tells you the whole plot line. But that's not what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm not going to be talking about how good the show was. I kind of want to talk about the downfall of the Fairly Odd Parents. Now, to look at the downfall, we have to see the uprise. So basically it came out, Cosmo, it was just Cosmo, Wanda, and Timmy at first, and they were just doing the basic thing. Timmy would wish for dumb things, it would go wrong, they would fix it. And it was funny, lighthearted, and the show was pretty good. But then they had a special. Apparently, Cosmo and Wanda were going to have a kid named Poof. Now, Poof is a whole different thing, bro. Wanda cheated on Cosmo somehow. I don't know how it came out of Cosmo, but we're not going to talk about that today. Alright, but anyway, yeah, so Poof is coming, right? And this is where people begin to say this is the downfall of the Fairly Odd Parents. But this is all about how old you are and when you started watching it. Because I started watching it after this. So I don't think it's the downfall. But people who are older than me, like my cousins or whatever, they feel like this is the downfall. So it's all about your perspective. But this is when the speculations of the downfall began to arise. So basically, Poof came out of Cosmo, big special, whoop whoop. She was purple somehow, like Wandissimo, whatever. And bam, there was now 3 fairies that were with Timmy. But she could never really talk. She was just kind of annoying, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really like her personally, but she had some funny episodes or whatever. Or he, whatever that was. And the show kind of carried on for a couple seasons like that. And it was pretty fire, you know what I'm saying? Nothing really went wrong with it. This was around the time that I was really into the show. So I thought it was normal. And then Butch Hartman or Nickelodeon, I don't know who came up with this idea, did it again. They just had to add another mystical creature to Timmy's fairy group or whatever. And it was a dog. Now, what I'm telling you, this is the downfall. If you don't agree with me, this is not when the show started to take a dip. You are crazy. This show became terrible. The dog was just annoying, loud. I think his name was Sparky. And thankfully, Butch Hartman took him out of the show. Whatever. Nickelodeon got rid of him because he was just terrible. It was just not funny at all. He was annoying. After the first 2 episodes he was in, he just was redundant. He was kind of like Timmy, just annoying, not really... he didn't really add anything to the show, so it was kind of just a waste of time to put him in the show. And that's when the show became kind of bad, so I stopped watching at that end. I became 10, 11. I stopped watching, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have anything to do with it. And this brings us to why I'm making this video. So, one day, just a little story. One day I was walking downstairs, and I saw my little sister. She was watching the Fairly Odd Parents. I was like, oh, I used to love the show. I'm about to watch it with her. And I see this buck-toothed girl with white hair, or whatever kind of hair she had. Her name was Chloe. And oh my god, when I'm telling you she was annoying, I'm so sorry. That was just that was the worst episode I've ever seen of Fairly Odd Parents. And I'm pretty sure there are probably thousands or hundreds of worse episodes than that. But she just made the show so terrible. Apparently there was a power outage in fairies, or an outage of fairies. So now Timmy has to share his fairies with Chloe. And that just killed the show. This is the downfall. And I'm just wondering, why did they do this? Was the ratings that bad that they had to add a girl to it? I'm not saying that, what I'm saying, not nothing sexist, but what was the point of this, I feel like they could have made it way better. Maybe she had her own fairy. She could have been like Timmy's rival, but it just killed it, you know what I'm saying? It just was not as fun. Why didn't Tootsie get a fairies? You know what I'm saying? That one girl that liked Timmy, but Timmy hated her because she was ugly or weird. Why didn't she get fairies? Why'd they have to add a whole other character that's still as annoying as Tootsie? I didn't understand that. And this is kind of like a pattern Butch Hartman show. All of his shows kind of die out. Now, thankfully, Danny Phantom, the amazing show, I think that's his best show that he ever came out with. It kind of got canceled or removed earlier, so it didn't really have that chance to become terrible like Timmy Turner. But I feel like possibly he could have ruined it like that. I feel like he could have ruined Danny Phantom like Nickelodeon, or he is ruining Timmy Turner. Or the Fairly Odd Parents. I'm sorry, I'm calling it Timmy Turner. And that one show, Tough Puppy, I'm not sure if any of you guys remember it. I'm going to put a video of it right here. But it was basically this dog or whatever who's a spy. I liked that show. It was kind of cool, But what happened to it? Did it just die out? I feel like this is going to happen to Timmy Turner. Sorry, the Fairly Odd Parents. And it's just going to not be as legendary as it used to be, Everyone loved the show, but now it's kind of just terrible. don't ruin the image of the show just because you want better ratings. You can always end the show and make a better show, maybe a spin-off of AJ getting fairies, something like that. Make it more interesting. But no, they just wanted to ruin the show by adding more characters in the show that really don't bring anything to the show. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's kind of just, it kind of sucks, Yeah, but like I feel like this happens to a lot of shows, and I can't name them off the top of my head. But if you guys have any shows that like you really used to watch when you were a kid, and you just look back at it now it's just terrible, let me know. Let me know what happened to your favorite show, or if Fairly Odd Parents was your favorite show. Let me know what happened to that. I'm kind of all over the place. This is just top of my head rant about the show. I feel like Chester really got snubbed from getting Fairly Odd Parents. Like, if there was an outage, he needs the fairies the most. I feel like they could have just taken Timmy's fairies away and given them to Chester. Because he lives in a trailer park. His dad's a Met. I'm sorry I'm ranting about this, but like that really just got me mad about that they gave a whole new girl who's rich. I don't think really needs fairies. But, it's fine. It's not about money. But, Chester just looks sad. Anyway, Timmy's a fake friend. Whatever. That's it for this video, I just feel like this just had to be talked about. Shows needs to stop doing this. Stop adding random characters that really don't add anything to the show and ruining it. I feel like anime does it too. Dragon Ball Z did it too. There was terrible villains that really just were a waste of an arc. But this is not a Dragon Ball Z video. Let me calm down. Let me know what you guys think about this. What do you guys think was the downfall of the Fairly Odd Parents? What do you guys think could have been done to make the show stay alive longer or be as good longer? I'm out.